Hi, Annie. All right. So still working on the
Good
slides.
morning. I'm trying to make my
Oh
coffee.
wow, look at that. Everything comes out. You gonna go get coffee?
Well, it's still brewing for me, so I may have to step out for a moment and then I'll be back.
It's
But
fine.
I'm here
It's fine.
for the time being.
We're informal. Yeah. So I've got all this bits and pieces I'm doing. I got distracted because I'm on a new laptop.
Oh, you are? You did? You won a new laptop.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons that you can see my background more clearly. It's because I don't have Cam Twist,
Oh,
the filter that I usually
yes.
have. I don't have it installed in this yet.
Oh,
But
so you're trying to
so I was
configure
going through all these.
trying to configure
Yeah,
your laptop, are you?
yeah, and I was going through my checklist of like, all right, do this, this, and this, and this, and this. But because I've got a new laptop, it's like, oh, I don't have not only that, but the different operating system.
Did you
So
have a
it's
Mac
no
the last
longer
one? You had a
a
Mac
Mac.
or what did you have last time?
Yeah, and now I have a
Oh
PC.
my.
And so like I was using Apple Notes and for all the things that I quickly like put up and stuff.
Right?
So that doesn't quite work.
So you went to the dark side, did you?
It's funny. I was talking to one of my clients, and he says I can use his name and everything, but his name is Jacinto, and he's like, yeah, he says it's funny. The outside of the U.S., they make fun of the Apple cult. I mean, we make fun of it within the U.S., but like the Americans, the United Statians, we really like our Apple products. We're just like it's kind of a cult amongst us. Whereas
Right.
outside, they're like, why spend so much for something like that?
Yeah. I don't know. My daughter's trying to get a Mac. I don't know if she had a laptop. I don't know if she's got a
Yeah,
PC laptop.
yeah. So,
That's what she's got.
so does that
So
mean that you don't agree that it's not just the United States?
it doesn't matter to me. I think it's just a preference. I don't have I don't have an opinion one way or the other, but you know,
Yeah,
it's whatever somebody prefers. That's how I look at it.
yeah,
If you're more comfortable with a Mac, that's fine. And I think for some people, it's whatever they need the most. I
yeah.
think some more creative people prefer the Mac. Some prefer the PC for different reasons. I've just always used the PC, so you know. So I
Yeah,
don't know
I
if
like
anybody else is joining. Is anybody else joining us?
the only other person that I saw signed up was Phil, and that's okay. I don't know that this particular I don't know if it's the topic or it's timing. Um, I think it might be the topic. It's just like
Let
people
me
don't know what to
see.
do with it.
Let me ping Phil and see what's going on with Phil.
Oh, that's fine. Also, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce often shows up. So let me do that. And the last thing is next week. funny because at 1 Million Cups, Eric mentioned my event, but he mentioned the topic for next week. All right, relationship, business, and family.
Good. Okay, I pinged him. Thank you for your response, by the way, on the 1 Million Cups.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where I've talked with you all the time about it, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is totally a business, and it is, but it just like it's like I said,
it's just interesting how they pitch it, but they don't do what they say they do. And to me, that's the minute you say you're doing X and the minute you don't, then you're not. That's my point.
Yeah,
See what
you
I'm
think
saying?
that a dollar shouldn't distinguish one business from another?
But no, when you're saying that you're doing one thing and the minute you don't do that, then you're not. Then don't say that.
You're talking about the inclusive thing,
Right?
And how they're not including companies that aren't making a dollar yet.
Well, no, I mean when you're saying that we help entrepreneurs, you're really not. Be very careful how you say things and how you claim. You see what I'm saying?
I think I see what you're saying is that they're not doing it the way you think they should, but I disagree.
I disagree how they do things.
I think they're still lowering the bar in a lot of ways because they're creating the conversation. Like I got a lot of help by the fact that 1 Million Cups was actually happening. Whether or not I got to present, it wasn't like the big thing for me. But I understand, like I see what you're saying is that you feel like if they're lowering the bar, they should be lowering the bar for who can present.
You know, if you're saying you're helping entrepreneurs as a community service, then that's what it should be.
Well, then what kind of help are they not doing that you think it should be?
If you're providing startups, then that's what you should say. But if the minute you don't do that, then you don't.
What would they do that would be doing that more?
That is no longer all inclusive. It's selective.
How would they be more inclusive? What's the specific thing?
I don't know, but that's for them to figure out, not for us.
But you're the one but you're the one that disagrees, and so it's like we have to search for a moving target that doesn't exist.
They defined it. I didn't. They had to figure out how to redefine it then.
But that's we like point. It. We like how it's set up. You're the one that wants it to change, Annie.
I'm just challenging the status quo. That's all I'm doing.
Be more specific about your challenge. Then we can actually do something.
There's Phil. Hi, Phil. Good morning. Let me go get my coffee. I'll be right back.
Thanks, Annie. Coffee. Good morning, Phil.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought your link actually says you're on at Saturday, February the 6th.
Oh, wait. Say that again?
Your link on the email said your Friday flow was going to be on Saturday. It's February the 6th.
Well, that's a problem.
So I thought maybe he's just moved it over one day for this week.
Oh, drat. There's a couple things where I had February 6th written down, but I didn't realize that I clicked on it on the actual thing. Right, February 19th. Let me look here. So if I go to I go to the event. Here we are. Oh, go to the event. What we're about. That's not what I'm looking for. Events. February 10th.
Yeah, if you just have a look at look in your section.
You're right. Yeah. It is. Oh, that's so annoying.
And that's why I never logged in, because I thought you was not online. And Annie sent me a text.
That's good of Annie. Event start time must be in the future. Well, I kind of missed that one. 9:15.
So you're likely to get a bunch of people in tomorrow morning.
Oh, wow. Wow. I don't know what to do about that. There was just one more attendee that joined. Okay, it's Joey. Okay, so I'll contact him real quick. That's funny. That's all the sign up. That explains it. Like Annie was like, is anyone else? Well, thank you, Annie, for being so persistent. Wow. All right, so I will contact Joey, I guess, here. What do we do?
Yeah, which kind of, it was kind of okay, because I had to drive my wife somewhere this morning. So I'm sitting in the car on this, waiting for her.
Okay.
So while we're doing that, what is it you were on your email? What is it that I sent you an email back saying, what is it you actually want to cover?
Let me focus on contacting Joey. But I do, that's a good conversation. Let's see now, how would I contact this guy? All right, I'm gonna stop the share here. When I'm trying to contact him, then that'd be a thing. I'm trying to contact him, and what I'll do is I'll probably don't have his phone number as the thing. Joey.
I like your PC image there, Adam. I want to tell you. I think I like this.
Yeah, thank you.
I do. Very crisp, very sharp.
Oh, yeah, because the camera and stuff?
Yeah.
Instead of that, you preferred over that digital thing that I do?
I think I like this one more than the other one.
Reply. That's good feedback. Forward. Oh, reply. Open.
If you want my feedback, I'm going to give it to you anyway.
Hey, I like your feedback. You have opinions. But it also means that I push back when I don't think they're good enough.
I came up with an idea for the 1 million cups. I do have an idea. Which we can talk about later. We can, yes. And you can take back to the committee however you want to. I just came up with an idea. As I was pouring my coffee, I had an aha moment.
Good. Okay. I'm gonna email him, and I'm gonna say,
Phil's in the car. So where are you heading off to so early in the morning, Phil, on a Friday?
I had to drop my wife somewhere.
Okay.
She's going to be tied up for about 10, 15 minutes, I guess. Did you read through the finance
proposal?
Yeah.
Not yet. I'll do that this weekend between some video training. I've got some video training that I'm going through right now.
Okay.
So, and doctor's appointments and life and things like that. So I'll go through that.
okay, so that's funny stuff. All these little technical difficulties, right? And it's funny because I was talking to folks about the just the other day about how consistency is such a big thing with this stuff, you know, because then people know to expect you and that sort of thing. Comment. Oops. There he is.
Oh.
Put this as Saturday. instead on accident.
I was gonna log in tomorrow. I was ready.
Thanks, Joey.
Morning, Joey.
Morning.
Annie is the one that cued me in. Well, Annie and Phil. So Annie's the only one that showed up. And so way to go, Annie, being on time and all that. And then
Right.
Phil is the one that she contacted. Oh yeah, because she contacted him, he's the one that pointed out his grand observational skills. Wait, you're signed up for February 6th on here. I'm like, what? That's nonsense. But that's right.
What's going on tomorrow? Anything special?
Well,
Me?
my lady's coming back, so I'm going to have to be driving. So
Okay.
I'll leave you on sound. I'm not going to do video though.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Phil. Okay. Oops.
Yeah, but no, I'm not on video.
Hey Phil, I didn't send it to you, and I do apologize. But me and JJ, we did the homework, and we have a SWOT analysis.
Good. Yeah. So my email is phil.wilton@gmail.
Okay.
So Wilton with a T.
Yeah. And then also, Joey, like, I'm not sure how you guys move forward with that, but Phil and I are talking about how to do some of that with Friday Flow, because I think it's fun to talk about, and I have this whole thing where I have time set aside on the mornings. Oops. These headphones are all part of my new setup with this new computer. It's the MacBook Air I had way better sound, and so this I've got a ThinkPad, and it's a T48S, and it's not really built for the audio stuff. So I've been finding out that if it's kind of hard to hear people if I don't have this whole gizmo, but then it sort of messes up the the adventurous look,
The Indiana Jones look there, huh?
Something like that, yeah. Out there exploring, making things happen. So it's and not only that, but like these headphones are supposed to go over the top of your head, but they don't fit with the hat.
Well,
So
then take the hat off, put the headphones, and then put the hat on.
I tried. I'll show you that, just because. Well, yeah, I'll show you that, and then I'll get started. Here we go. So if I put them like this, I mean, how's that look? Does that look like very?
Doesn't look bad.
Not bad at all.
All right, I'll take your word for it, and I'll roll with it for a moment. But I got a feeling that it's floating up here, Maybe you guys.
It's a 22nd century look.
Yeah, that is something. Hey. All right. So let's go to let's get the rigmarole going so that there's consistency. I was just talking to Joey the other day about consistency and how important it is. And then I scheduled this thing on Saturday. All right.
Yeah,
can I
but the
push
thing
the
is,
send on that thing?
Adam, you better check tomorrow morning because you may be getting a lot of people come in at 9 o'clock.
Maybe. There's only 4 people that signed up, and Joey signed up when at 9 today. So I maybe I have my doubts, but I'll try to remember to do that.
What, did you set this up for tomorrow instead of today?
Yeah, that's what Phil was saying. Is that the schedule on here on Meetup? I had the wrong date. I didn't send it yet. Oh, okay, there we go. And then
It happens.
so instead of being February 5th right up here, I had as February 6th.
Oh,
Which makes sense because I also had notes and stuff, and on the notes I kept on writing February 6th. I'm like, that's the wrong date. Why do I have that? Oh, well, I'll change that. I'm not sure why that is. But it all started a while ago. Anyway, so and I plan these out 2 weeks in advance, just to
have breathing space for the idea. And so when I come back to it, I've got, another angle or something. And also the real reason that I put 2 weeks out in advance is because then for people that are like, forward planners, they have something they can put on their schedule. If they're just happen to be surfing at the time. And then there's people like Annie who just like knows they're going to come at this time during this day and doesn't care what the darn meetup thing tells you. So thank you for that, Annie.
I'm on autopilot. What can I say?
I like it. It worked for me. So here's our events. It's live on YouTube. This whole conversation has been exciting and letting people in on the uncouth background of everything else, how it's all messy. So a big thing is engage challenges here. Annie and I have been doing that already. Attend at a whim, so you come and go. It's I've gotten these people that apologize that they're not going to be able to make it this week, and they haven't even signed up. They're just like, oh, I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it this next week. I'm like, well, I do want to see you at times, but don't have to worry about like attending each time. It's when you come and you converse, and then connect your business with a topic. I want to do that because I want you to be able to brag about what you do so that we can actually tap into what you do. And if you don't tell us, we won't know. And this is pretty low maintenance for me. So you guys already know the rigmarole, and here we go. So challenge questions. What limits? Oh, look at this. I've got all kinds of unediting finished stuff here too. Good thing I still have this. Okay, so delete. What limits do you see as useful? I didn't look at the meetup stuff. I was kind of behind because, again, the new computer, and I got lost in exciting things I could do to try and make my system better. Apparently, that's part of my system. That's a horizon I have, is that my brain system, the way I think. This is from last week, so I'm going to delete that. My brain system apparently does this thing where I like to plan stuff out. I don't necessarily like to execute it. And there's something else. And I don't really like to dwell in the past. Like those are part of an operating system, according to Joycelyn Campbell. Welcome to Adam's Friday Flow. I'm going to put this in presentation mode. I'm going to go like this. Bam. What are horizons useful? And the thing is horizons is a kind of neat term. And I'll tell you a little more about that in a moment. But the real question that that drives this, the passion-filled question that I'm seeking out is, what use are horizons to recognize? So what's the use of recognizing horizons? And I realized as I was looking at the weeks that this is kind of a repeat of last week's question of like, how do you leverage your limits and why is that useful? But it's okay. It's a topic I like. So horizons are useful, or are they? Joycelyn Campbell is someone I'm talking about a lot right now because I'm really interacting with her. She's done all kinds of research for like 20 years on brain science stuff. And so she's really exciting to it's really a lot of stuff that I'm learning right now is from her. And she talks about how there's so much that we don't know. And actually what we don't know is the important thing. That's what helps us actually move forward. And then Professor Tatey, Joe Tatey, was back when I was in philosophy school, when I was in seminary, there was this topic, and Professor Tatey talked about it, and how at the time, and this is in 2000 something, it was in 2003, let's say, or two. And at that time in philosophy studies and all of philosophy scholarly stuff, horizons was like a hot topic, talking about horizons and stuff like that. So kind of where I get this this topic from, is those mixture of people. And the limits that this applies to is we can only see so far, right? So we have a certain things we can see, and part of it is biological, part of it is because of the way that we've sort of trained our brain through time and nature and nurture stuff, right? And then the other thing is just physically we're in spaces where we can't see things, right? So there's certain horizons of what we can understand and see and get to. And so what's the advantage of recognizing those particular horizons? So that's kind of the question we're going to get into. And this is a weird transition point for me in the event, because And I've changed where I do the intros for everybody because I've just kind of prepped your mind for these activities and stuff. So maybe jot something down or somewhere, and we're gonna introduce ourselves, and then we're gonna go back to the topic. This is one of those things that I've got to figure out how the flow of this goes, but it is what it is at this point. So paste in chat if you got any links, and I'll go by whoever's pasted in the chat, who goes next. That's a cool thing we figured out a moment ago. So paste in chat, contact info, make it clickable. Make sure you put your HTTP and all that good stuff in front of your link. Otherwise, it makes extra work for me, which makes things not flow well, and we'll make comments about you. So when you do talk, you're gonna tell your name of your company, what your name is, or what company you're dreaming of doing, and a brief story, a little about what you're doing that kind of lets us know also what your ideal client or target market is. So I'm gonna go back to the, what is this? Oh, this is from last week. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to my thing.
Let's go.
I go to my link here. And here we are. Okay, so this is my link. This is going to be updated soon. I'm really excited about it. I'm Adam Sparks Brechtel. I have Sparks Flow as my company. And what I get to do here is I help people create more breathing space for their ideas, so that the sparks can really flow and neat stuff can happen. And that was one of the big goals of me putting together this event, was that like, oh, well, this is a great place for people to, like, think about their ideas and breathe about it, kind of get some working around space and talk things out. And it's not, stuffy or, real high powered. It's just more about like, okay, what's an idea and what can we, like, kind of tweak and push around with. So that is my story, a little bit of my story and stuff. I'm gonna go to chat here. And we've got Joey. You actually have a link. No one else has put a link in here yet. Annie?
Oh, there's
All right.
Andy. My name is Joey Gutierrez. I'm with the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce. I am a membership engagement specialist. What we do, or what I do, is I go out and talk to businesses about resources that we offer, try to bring them on as members for the chamber. Even if they're not members, we have a ton of resources that we want people to know that we have here at our campus. And we just want engagement. Economic development is our goal for New Mexico. So we do anything we can to help with that. Usually that's in the form of an event. Right now, a lot of virtual events. We had our Get Crafty yesterday at the same time as our procurement series going on, where businesses are attending that to learn about procurement. And we have Biz Gratis this month. What else do we have? We have a staycation. It's like dinner and a conversation on the 13th. And then we also have our daycation where we're going to travel to Madrid. And anyone's welcome. It's all on our events page of the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber, which is ahcnm.org. And it's under more, Adam.
Oh my goodness.
There you
I was
go.
like, where is this darn thing?
It's under more on the events. If you scroll over events, there
What?
is a whole calendar.
I lost it. Okay, so
yeah.
events, signature events, community calendar events. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so it's a community calendar events. And people on our members will post events that are happening on their calendar as well on here. So we have some great things going on. We're here
I'm gonna.
to help out with any
I'm
needs that
curious.
you have. Yes.
That's great. So, what's the difference between the program and training and events?
Programs and training.
Now, I
So
get the
we have-
training. Okay.
We have a few programs and trainings going on. Like we have our Avansad finishing up, and that's a program that we've had for weeks now. And
Mhm.
it's basically how to take your business to the next level for the Spanish speaking community.
Yeah. It's muy bien.
So that's been a program. We have trainings that get posted. I think we have another one coming up. Our procurement program is part of our programs, but we put it under our events calendar.
Also.
Yeah, so if there's an event out of it, we will put it on the events calendar to click on, but the programs and training kind of goes in more detail about it. We also have a ton
I
of
wonder
people
why events is.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I wonder why events is buried over here.
I don't know. We need to figure
Seems-
that out. Yeah. Because
That might be a good promotion.
I've been messing with that too. And it's like we have to go to more and find it. It should be easier
Meaning-
to find.
Job opportunities, PPE.
You need to revamp your website design.
But this is like the perpetual problem of a chamber, right? There are constantly like new ideas coming in. They're trying to figure it out. So like it's understandable, but yeah.
We change it like weekly. We have someone who's always, yeah, it's constantly. And then as we grow, because we've had the luck of growing here lately, like with
That's great.
BLM, we have to add stuff in for them. So a lot
Yeah.
more information. It's been interesting, but we're excited about a lot of these events. We still have the PPE program. So if anybody needs PPE, please reach out to myself or anybody else at the chamber, leave a message, send us an email, and we can get you some PPE boxes and
So-
a ton of masks.
About the PPE thing, I got a bunch of PPE. What was it? There was an event, and then we went to, and the mayor was there, and all that good stuff. And so I feel like I'm like set for a while, at least for a couple years. And the so my question about that is like, how do you know that people have not gotten this, or like how do you know if can they get another one? Like I don't have enough. I don't have like all these employees and stuff, and that's why it's like it was a buco. Like, all right, I have masks for every day of the month. And so if they're like, if someone's already gotten them, but they have more employees, can they come and get more? How's that work?
Yeah, we have had some businesses reach out and say, "Hey, we need more," and we've given it to them. No problem
Okay,
there.
cool.
The thing is we have a grant with the city, and
Yeah.
we're one of the distributors for the city.
Yeah.
And we just, we feel like small businesses shouldn't, or businesses in general shouldn't be paying for this stuff, especially when we have it available.
Yeah.
So we'll take down the information of whoever we give it to, because we do track it for the city to let them know all the businesses that we've been helping and that the city's been helping with this initiative.
So it is okay if they have enough need that they can come back and get another one.
Yeah, absolutely. We have no problem handing that out. Masks, especially, we just got donated another 75,000 KN95 masks. And so we're just handing boxes out wherever we go. We pick up lunch somewhere, here's some more boxes of KN95s. Exactly. So we have no problem helping people out with the PPE.
That's great. Thank you. All right. Annie, did you get on here now? Where's my chat?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I can certainly go next.
You're up.
Right.
Yeah.
I am Annie Rosari, CEO and founder of Core Community Housing, Sustainable Community Development, and I'm in the real estate space. Also a serial entrepreneur, if you will. I co-own the social enterprise company in Chicago.
Do will.
Right. Barrington Resale. We bought and sold high-end furniture to provide furniture to needy families in the Chicagoland area for over 10 years. I was also a former IT management consultant in the IT industry, project manager, Scrum Master, PMP certified, and CSM certified. So that was my former life. So today, I'm, just an entrepreneur extraordinaire. What can I say?
Just an entrepreneur extraordinaire. That is a phrase. That's great.
Hey, I just like having fun. What can I
That's
say?
cool.
I'm also in the real estate space. I do different things in real estate, investing,
And with that,
just doing
and with that
different
real
things.
estate and the core community housing, you're using containers. You're using containers like this big thing.
Well, modular,
This sort
right?
of 8-bit image.
The idea
Uh,
is container or modular housing to do a sustainable community development, right? So we're working on, Phil and I are working on a project in Valencia County. We've been approved for the plan development. We are in the early stages of doing the architectural design with an architect to develop this community. So we're moving it forward. And the proposal, we're finishing up our proposal to submit to National Science Foundation, 1.5 million. So I'm certainly looking at doing the marketing aspect of it as well. So, so that's where it's at as far as in startup mode. That's kind of
The last update you put on your website here was January 22nd,
Right.
2020.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Not like that's that important, but I'm just pointing out that maybe.
yeah. Right. So yeah.
But you've come a long way in a year.
Yeah. We've come a long way in a year. So it's been a lot of effort. So for a year-long company. So it's pretty good. Right. It's a social enterprise organization. That's what we're trying to off the ground. It's a social organization. That's what it is. Social impact.
That's a B
Oh.
Corp, or is that?
Well, that's what we're going to move into. Is right now it's just a social enterprise company. Eventually, we're going to move it into a B certified. Eventually, one step at a time. So
That's cool.
So right now we've got the 30 acres that we've been approved to develop in Valencia County. So the next step is to design it and architect it, and then hopefully the next step is to do the marketing aspect of it, and we'll see how it goes.
I like it. So Phil is driving around in his car, but we already know his website because he shows enough. He's a strategic global group, and he's gonna be writing a book. That's his story. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
So,
let you
yeah,
continue to drive, Phil. You're not gonna.
Well, I'm at a
I'm not
traffic
pulling you
light,
in.
so
Don't worry about it.
I've got a traffic light, so I've got a couple of things. So I had a win this week with another lady.
Oh yeah,
I seem to be working with ladies.
they're great people.
Yeah, she's an honorary member of UNM faculty apparently,
Oh,
and she's got a product that she wants to take to market, and so we've got her in the UNM ICOR program, which runs the same as the National Science Foundation one, and so they're going to be interesting to go through with her. My presentation to the University of New Mexico is on February the 22nd on 3 matrices, the SWOT that you and Joey have done. I'm going to also be covering the resource-based view of strategy, which is going to be is an important part of the 3 matrices. And I'm also going to be covering 5 forces. Now, Joey, for you, you might want to sign up for that course on February the 22nd. You just have to register, and then you can go in. And you may want to get some of your patrons or members to actually sign up to it as well. Or I could do a similar one for the Hispano Chamber of Commerce afterwards.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome.
It'll be worthwhile because you learn not only how to do a SWOT, but also how to manage the resource-based view of strategy, which looks at the interior of your operation in detail and sees how your organization is working. And it looks at 5 forces, which looks at how you're competitive and impacted in the marketplace. So I recommend that you join in on that. And like I say, any of your people can. And I'm happy to do one for you guys afterwards.
Awesome. I'm registering for it right now, and I will put it on our events calendar as well.
That's pretty cool. So this is not in person, huh, Phil? This
unfortunately, no, it's not. I always used to do in-person ones in New York, the university, but we've got pandemic to contend with, I guess.
One of them, huh? So the events, it's on Eventbrite.
Yeah.
And it looks like that anyone can sign up then, huh?
Yep. And there is one other thing. When you sign up, you obviously put in all your details, and I'm going to get the university to do a potluck and so somebody's going to get a free copy of my book.
That's a different. I think you mean door prize.
Yeah.
Potluck involves eating in the same place with everybody else who brought food.
Well, okay, whatever you call it, they're going to. I'm not going to pick it out because I don't want people to think I'm biased or anything.
All right.
So I'll get the university to pick it out.
I understand the confusion. Coming from Wales, they probably call it different things.
Wales,
Wait.
England.
What part of England?
Greenwich, where they measure time from.
Ah, well, that's why you're so strategic. They drop that line on your head, and then it continues to remind you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sharing an event on March 5th to March 7th on Tiny Homes,
Thank you.
Tiny House event. So Joey, is that
It's another
something
one.
that can be posted on Hispano?
Yes, I will get that one on there as well.
What did I do?
Yeah, it's a great. I've been to one of those, and
Oh.
it's really great. There's a lot of information that they on a 3-day event. They really pack a lot of information.
Okay, awesome. Looking at
Boy, that sounds so exciting. I want to do that if I had time.
You know what? I would love to do it. Try to be honest with you. You know, I'm designing my tiny homes as we speak. My tiny home. I really would love to have one.
Yeah, I kind of want one too, but not necessarily here. But instead of putting a cabin on like property we have up north,
You
I
know
want
what? This
a
is
bunch
one
of
to
tiny
go to.
homes.
And it's, I mean, they charge, there's three, I think there's a $25 one, there's a $45 one, and there's 3 different price points to go to this virtual event. It's really a great event. And you
Okay.
get a lot of information, a lot.
Thought out
And
designers
you
and
meet a
builders.
lot of people. You really do. It's fantastic.
I've been watching this guy online. Wait, he and her, they're both on Netflix. These two people here.
Right?
Look at that.
It's the minimalism
Um,
thing, and they tell you how they build, you know, what to watch out for, all the legalities, the insurance, the price points, all of it.
That's funny. Feliz. Join the Tiny House Leaders and Community. Yeah, Tiny House Nation. That's the one. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's
People who
an
own it
interesting-
already, people who are living the tiny house living, and they tell you the ins and outs, and it's fantastic.
These would be great people for me to work with too, because you know, like they're trying to organize stuff up. But they might my wife is not into tiny homes. She's not into that idea. So I don't know if I'll be actually doing any of that in my lifetime, but I think it's great. I've got some friends that do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. All right, so we're gonna go. So talking about tiny homes, we've got Tiny View. So we have, you know, this Horizons thing. I'm gonna escape this thing. Go back to my questions. All right. So what do you guys say about this this Horizons stuff? What use have you seen Horizons recognized? So first of all, what do you like think of when you hear the term Horizons? What comes to mind?
Who
Any
moved my
day.
cheese?
What's that?
When I think of Horizons, I think of the book Who Moved My Cheese.
Company called Horizon Travel Company.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
I've read that book. I'll look that one up. Something in time too. What, was that Phil or was that Joey? What do you think of when you hear Horizons?
Well, the immediate thing that came to my mind relates to a travel company in England, so I was thinking of holidays, vacation.
Oh, it's a travel company, Horizons. That's
Yeah.
great. Which is, I think it's actually pretty good because even in this, you know, abstract way we're talking about it, you know, the reason that you'd even want to go anywhere else is because it's beyond your horizon, right? It's you're going to another place, and you don't know that you're going to another. If you don't know that you're going to another place, unless you notice you have horizons, and so you miss out on half the experience if you don't even realize that you're crossing a horizon or creating new horizons. Really, Who Moved My Cheese? That's Amazon.com. I don't want that one. I want the one that's actually Goodreads. Is fine. Does it have its own? Medium? I don't know. Let's just book review. Maybe they don't have a page.
I'm interested
Anyway,
in this Who Moved My
so-
Cheese.
There's a PDF of the. There's a
Yeah,
PDF
it's a
of
really-
it.
It's a real short book,
It is. It really is.
and it's pretty good. So it's just kind of and really what it's talking about. Well, here, Annie, you go ahead and tell me what it talks about and how it relates to Horizons.
And really, what it talks about is opportunities, right? And recognizing when your cheese is about to go stale, as far as, and really, it talks about people who get comfortable where they're at, and how your cheese gets stale, and recognizing that, and how people get comfortable where they're at, and not, not recognizing that, oh, you know what? Oh, it's comfortable here. I'm just gonna stay because things are good here, and I have no reason to change. It's about change. Is really what it's all about, and how people are like, don't like to change. Oh, I'm just gonna stay here. It's good here, and you go, and then it's about this two different mouse or mice. One is always, looking at changing and is okay with change, and the other one is not. And then that cheese gets stale, and the other one is always looking at the next opportunity. And then,
That's Who Moved My Cheese, which
Yes.
is a very good management book,
Right.
and one I used to use when I was in Europe to train my operations team with.
right, it's really about that, right? So it's an easy read, and you could read it in maybe an hour to 2 hours. It's a very small book. I have it. So, and I always, it's a good reminder all the time, him and haw, and, unexpected change, because change happens in life. That's the only thing that you could really expect in life is change. So, and how you should handle change. So Horizons to me is about that, right? Yes, you can't predict the future, and you can't always see that far ahead, but there are always indicators and how you should be ready for change. You can be as ready as you can be. Yes, you can't predict the future and you can't see that far ahead, but you can always be prepared
I
and
like
as
it.
ready as you can be for when that happens, for the unexpected change. So that's really what Horizons kind of makes me think
Brings
of.
to mind for you.
Right.
Well, that's great. Apparently there's a movie about Who Moved My Cheese. Okay, so that's interesting. That's funny. I didn't. There they are. There. Okay.
The only certainty in life is change. The only variable is the rate of change.
Say that again. You glitched out.
I said the only certainty in life is change, and the only variable is the rate of change.
Well said.
Okay. Yeah. So as you're talking about the Annie, it reminded me of Joycelyn Campbell. And this is her Farther to Go page, and this image has a lot to do with what her brain works focuses on, or brain studies focus on. And it's this idea that you have these two parts of your brain, and there's system one, which is the one that's always running, it's always going, it just doesn't stop. If you're alive, system one in your brain is always working. And then there's system two, and that's the one we usually think of as our self. System two is the one that you're conscious of, the stuff that's actually happening that you really choose to be thinking about, that kind of thing, right? But the thing is system two is often, as it sees here, it often goes to sleep. And system one and system two are probably pretty lazy. And system one just wants you to do it the way you've always done it. Does that make sense? Because it's a system of efficiency. It just wants to make your body kind of get things done the way you want them to do them, and you do things. And it's always constantly thinking, what does Annie do? What does Annie do in this situation? What does Annie do in this situation? And it's pulling it from your history and from some of your biology, right? And that this is what you do. Whereas system 2 is when you say, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do something else. But it's going against the momentum of system 1 all the time. And some people try to call like system 1 stuff subconscious, which isn't a real thing. According to brain science, it's only unconscious. It's because this is what your brain, it doesn't have an opinion. It's just, that's what you do. It's just a fact. And so but you can turn it slowly by doing some stuff to really like create the habits and change. And so the mouse thing you're talking about is you're uncomfortable with the changing the cheese because your system 1 has momentum in one direction, right? This is
Right.
what we're doing. Why are you changing it on me? And in fact, you're most likely going to be more engaged in life if you're uncomfortable more often. So
Right.
because of that, that's a kind of an exciting thing to go through there. So Joey, what do you think of when you think of Horizons?
Two things when I think of Horizons. Sorry, the first is sorry, there's a lot of people walking through. We're actually shooting a movie here in case you hear noises when we're on.
Exciting.
We're not shooting a movie. One of
Wow.
our
Will it be on
movies are
Netflix?
Walmart
Yeah.
movies, I think. Or
That's
something
great.
like that. It has Eric Roberts, though. We all got to meet him yesterday and talk to him, and he's a cool guy. But for Horizons, I think of One Horizons New Mexico because as a nonprofit, we support other nonprofits, and they're a great nonprofit here locally.
Look at this.
But for my other answer for Horizons, I think of, pushing your boundaries and setting new goals and just keep pushing as you grow. So kind of going to what Annie said about change, how to deal with change and stuff. And I think when I think of our Horizons useful with your question, they're very useful as long as you keep moving in the right direction and you keep coping with change and setting bigger horizons for yourself. But yeah, the first thing I thought of when you said Horizons is Horizons useful. Yes, Horizons of New Mexico is very useful.
That's funny. You had actual website and agency apparently. So what, you guys work with these guys, or what's the story here?
I have in the past in high school, we worked with Horizons, and then me being on the community outreach committee here
In
for
Hispano?
the chamber, we specialize with nonprofits, and that's our focus. So yeah, we know Horizons. We want them to come on to the committee, but working with them in the past, they just do a ton of stuff.
Member services, documents, forums about us, news and briefs, council meetings, information, context. Oh, so you're hoping that they come on, but this is, that's cool. So like, starting on a new job or something, seeing over, and this is funny because Horizons with the balloon, the image is right, as you go up, you see further out in Horizons, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty clever site there.
You're able to
That's
push your
good
limits
stuff.
more with Horizons.
So,
Yeah.
Joey,
And that's
I've got a question for Joey.
Yes.
So, if you did your SWOT and you sat down with JJ and went through this correctly, what new horizons did you see from your SWOT?
That would be under the opportunity section, right?
That would be a natural place to look, yes. But there could also be in your weaknesses.
So that's a good point, Phil. And, you said a big thing when you were talking about this. You said if I did it correctly. So that is left to be said after you look at it. But under weaknesses and opportunities, we put spreading the wealth as an opportunity and a weakness for us. Sometimes we get stretched very thin. As a nonprofit and as a chamber, we try to help out everybody, and we're always out there with that intent. But we do get pulled thin, and that falls on us. It's a weakness we need to work, but it's an opportunity because we can reach more people if we do it correctly. If we have a procedure that we're looking to do, we want to reach more people. But sometimes we catch ourselves getting spread a little thin and not having as much engagement with certain people as we wanted to. And that's just being transparent and honest. That's, I think, any organization, but as a nonprofit and one like us who's out there helping out every business, it can cause some issues here and there.
Yeah. I would imagine it does. It sounds to me like you have a good clientele. But how do you serve all that clientele? That's got to be a weakness, and you're right, it's got to be an opportunity. Interested in the threats, though. What have you got in the threats?
With threats, threats for us, we have reduced funding, economy impacts, but we also have loss of trust, which kind of ties into spreading the wealth, because if we're not there for everybody like we promised and helping them out, there is some trust issues, when it comes to, I signed up as a member and, I haven't heard from you guys in a certain period of time, or, I wasn't as engaged, and that falls on us as a membership team. And we're working on that. We do have a lot of members and we respect every single one of them, whether there's one employee all the way up to thousands of employees, and we need to treat equally. So the loss of trust is a threat because, we sometimes get spread too thin. And
that's a good one to look at, because I've said to you before, and I think I said it to JJ, you're always there. All right. I mean, every week I hear about the Hispano Chamber of Commerce. I don't hear about other Chamber of Commerces, and I don't hear about EDD in Albuquerque and all that kind of stuff, but you're always there. So, and that would be a strength for you guys, because in one sense, you are getting your message out there. So when you get clientele say to you, I signed up for you guys and I've learned from you, and I'm losing trust because I don't know what you're doing. That seems to me pretty drastic. But what are they doing? How much effort are they putting into being, connected with you? I mean, that's a connection's a two-way thing.
Yeah, and for an organization like ours, where we're based off members, that's one thing that we're being very transparent up front when we are talking to our members. Is one analogy we like to use is it's like a gym membership. You can pay for it, but if you're not using it, you can't expect to lose weight. So same thing with us. You can pay for the membership, and we'll bring you on and tell you what we're capable of. But if you're not engaged with us, as and you're not reaching out to us, we don't know your needs and how we can help out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Joey, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
On the membership side, do you see the value add return as a threat for members? What would you consider that? Because, USA Dance was a member for about a year. And so I don't know, I'm asking, that's a question, right? And we were very engaged in USA Dance. So that's a question on my part. Is that a threat? Is that a weakness? Is that an opportunity?
Can I rephrase the question just so I understand what's being asked? So you asked the
value add membership, right? Is that a threat? Is that an opportunity?
The value add membership?
Right, that's what I'm asking.
What is value add membership?
Right, so if you have a business that's a nonprofit,
okay,
and what is there and something didn't quite work out, or is that a threat? Is that an opportunity?
Okay, so you're asking about the particular problem that if someone's joining and they didn't get what they thought they were going to get out of it,
right?
Where does that sit on this chart?
Right, where does that sit on this chart?
I think you named all of them. I think it's a weakness, an opportunity, and can be a threat. Hopefully it doesn't get to a threat level. When we were brought on, because the Hispano, went through the same things everyone else did last year. When we revamped the membership team with me, JJ, Crystal, and Melissa, they kind of told us as we reopen and go through this, we want you guys to put your spin on it, get creative. So one thing we did is when we went out and started talking to new members, previous members, we started asking them what issues that they had. And, these were some of the things that they told us. And some did have some problems with engagement from us and stuff. And so we put that into an opportunities category for us, not doing a SWOT analysis, but just kind of referring that we knew it was a weakness that, the perception was once you're a member, sometimes you don't get the same love and engagement. It was never a threat because it made us feel like we knew what we had to do now. We had to go out and we have to be more engaged. So that's why we're putting us out there more often on, you know, these segments, as well as just going out and talking to people. I don't think it's a threat. For me, it's an opportunity. It can be a threat, but it gives me a reason to go out and earn you back as a member and say, you know what, we might have missed something the first time, but let me fix that for you. Let's
Yeah,
go through,
in reality, a threat can only is an outside influence on your organization, all right, or your company, or even your product, if you're doing a product one, that you have very limited influence over. All right. So, you know, laws would be in the threat. You know, if you have to do things a certain way, then, and the law says you have to do it that way, that can maybe be a detriment to your organization. The trick there is, how can you mitigate the threat? All right. The threat is the only box out of the three that anybody who's doing a SWOT doesn't have 100% control over. You have 100% control over the other three boxes. But when it comes to the strengths, weakness, opportunities, they are all things that you can mitigate, change, adapt to, and work out. But when it comes to threats, that's an outside influence that is affecting your business. So, and I mentioned that just to make sure you're categorizing the attribute correctly. All right.
No, that's a good point. And that actually, so I'm going to fix the threats here. And you'll see it, Phil, what I sent to you. We have reduced funding and economic impacts.
Right, they're threats. Yeah.
And that's a huge threat. Things can change, especially for nonprofits.
I'm going to cut you off a little bit there. I'm sorry. We actually, now I realize that I'm 2 minutes over time. And we're so engaged in the conversation we didn't get anywhere. Next time, it'll be about relationships of business and family. It'll be on Friday, not Saturday. And how do you balance all this stuff? We usually do an ask anything. If anyone has anything on the ask that they haven't mentioned already, you can shout it out now. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great week, and thanks for joining me, and keep the sparks flowing.
Yeah, thanks
Adam. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So we can keep talking, but I wanted to be able to wrap up the whole story thingy.
All right. Okay.
Just so that, like, you know, I at least appear to be on top of stuff. Sometimes. That's great. Yeah. So did you want to finish that thought there, Joey?
No, I'm interested to see what Phil says about our SWOT. I'm love to go through it because there's weaknesses and opportunities, and I think Annie, you nailed it with your question. That was a weakness. There has been weaknesses of ours on people feeling like they didn't get the return on investment, so to speak, from the membership. But it's also an opportunity because now we know what we need to do to show them, and what's been done in the past didn't work, so we can improve, and that's the goal.
So while we got just a few more minutes, rather than talk about the items on your SWOT or the attributes, what was you surprised by anything or any of those attributes that you were writing into those 4 boxes? Was there something that come up that you and JJ had just not thought about before?
No, not really surprises. I think there's things that we realize we need to focus on a little bit more that we weren't. I think threats, because it is something that's an outside source, like you were saying, that affects us. We really didn't pay attention to the threats, but it's something that we need to be cognizant about because it can change quickly. The funding is a big thing. We had to furlough a ton of people last year, and we're slowly starting to bring them back, which is good. But those threats we need to be able to take head on next time and have a plan. Of course, a pandemic like this, there's really no plan, but I think as we wade through these waters, we're figuring out ways to work around it if it happens again.
Yeah, so what you're doing is, COVID-19 is a threat to how your organization operated before. So now what you're trying to do, you can't remove that. That's an outside influence that you just can't do anything about. So, but what you can do is, how do we mitigate it? How do we find alternatives?
Absolutely. And there's a couple others that I think when we go through it with you, you'll probably point some stuff out that we probably need a little improvement on as well, and just getting some insight on how you know, other ideas that you guys would have as, you know, members, what you would want to see from us, from a chamber.
Yeah, yeah. So I think if you when you come on to the course on February the 22nd, you'll learn there's a whole bunch more other stuff that you can learn, and the way I've structured it is that it's all the matrices are exactly the same. They look the same, but they do different things.
Mhm.
And that will help you to dig deeper into your organization and into your market, to see what you need to do.
Absolutely. And I signed up, I'm registered. I just got my confirmations and my ticket, so I will be attending that. And Annie, I'll be looking into yours right after this. I'm pulling up the information now.
Yes, right? Yeah, that'd be great. If you
Yeah.
could just share it, that'd be great. I mean, I think.
Yeah,
it'd be
yeah,
helpful.
absolutely.
You know, if they get more participation. It's a global conference, by the way. So people from all over the world attend that conference.
Awesome. Awesome.
I met people from Brazil, from everywhere. It's really interesting. Adam, that might be something you want to attend because they have people who want like vendors and things like that. That'd be great. You know, people who are organizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that work in? What do they?
I'm going to say bye, guys, because I need to go.
Thanks,
Okay,
Phil.
bye, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
Joey, enjoy your movie.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be up and down. So
Hey,
Exciting.
Joey, what's your contact info? Did you post your contact info? Because I need to
I
reach out
did.
to you.
I did. I have my email in there. I'll put my I can put my phone number in there as well.
Oh, there it is. I got it.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna head out as well, so these people can film without me yelling.
Hey, thanks, Joey.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
So Annie, how does the vendors thing work with this?
I don't know. I mean, I guess you'd have to probably reach out to the organizer.
You say they're looking for vendors, but
Sometimes they do. They do have vendors in there. They do, right? Organizers, things of that nature. So I don't quite know how the vendors work.
yeah,
I
Boy,
really
that'd
don't
be
know because
interesting.
I attend as an attendee, but they have organizers, things like that,
Yeah.
speakers. There's different people who speak on different topics, organizers, and
yeah.
right.
This is it's pretty neat stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
So early bird tickets on sale
I
now.
would think that there's something that it seems like there was something you could speak to
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
in this space for sure.
pricing to suit everyone. What's
Right?
that
Even
about?
Miriam, more than organized. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even Miriam, especially.
3-day VIP ticket, 3-day VIP ticket with membership, 3-day VIP ticket with consult.
I'll probably do the $45 one. I don't think I'll do there's different, you know, price points. So
So
I
this
think
thing,
the first time I did the $25 one, but
but this was the ticket pricing going up soon. Get yours below and save up to $70. Oh, okay. I thought it was $70. So I mean, I could get this guy because that's where I think I'd be at because I don't really need another membership right now.
well, you don't, right? So you can just do the $25 one. That's what I did the first time, just
Yeah.
to check it out, you know?
Yeah.
And you meet all kinds of people and they're more than willing to share information. Let me tell you, they share a lot of information.
Yeah. What I'd like to do is I'd like to have people interested in working with me. But
Right.
I'm also like right now I'm really struggling with having enough time to do all that conversation, right? The last 3 weeks, like I've been busy, you know, and it's been good, but it's also been
Oh, you know,
it's limited my horizons, right?
right, you pick and choose. I mean, it's up to you. I'm not,
Oh.
you know, I'm not pushing one way or the other. Just
No, I'm I'm interested. I'm just trying to balance it out in my head of like, how would I do this? I don't feel pressure. I don't feel pressured. I feel excited, but then I also feel weary. Wary.
Right? Oh, by the way, the idea that I had for 1 million cups, for especially for people who are just starting out and haven't made $1, they
Yeah.
should maybe put a group of startups as startups who haven't made any money and help those people out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the idea, right? Even though they haven't made any money, they're still a bona fide business. You see what I'm saying?
You're talking about like a breakout room during the virtual time?
No, not necessarily breakout room, but they're still, even though they haven't received $1, they're still working their business. You see what I'm saying? They're maybe in the startup phase, but they still deserve help. You see what I'm saying?
So when you say help, you mean a presentation?
Not if it's presentation, whatever that may be, they need to be in a group that needs help.
I thought
This is
everybody.
So in other words, they may have not made $1, but allow them to, whether that's presenting, even though they haven't made $1, let them present anyway. I think they need a voice. I'm just saying.
Well, we do have the opportunity, like we used to have the activities, opportunities and stuff. Like, do you have an opportunity or something you're starting or a shout out kind of thing?
Well, right, even if it's a shout out or even if it's, okay, yeah, people are presenting because they've made money already, but I think the ones that haven't need to be heard as well. Whether that means a shout out, whether that means they need 5 minutes of podium time, right? They need to be heard. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we could talk about bringing that back, of like the.
So I think they need to be heard, even though they haven't made any money. Yes, they haven't made $1, but for Pete's sakes, let's give them platform time. Whether that means you pick 3 companies that are in the early stages, give them that opportunity. That's all I'm saying.
Huh. Yeah, there are pitches, like pitch events where you get to pitch your ideas. You've heard of those, right?
Then just say, at 1 million cups, okay, these are early startup companies that haven't made anything. At the very end, maybe that's what we do. The opportunity to say, these are the ones that have made money and these are the ones that haven't. They're an early startup. And make that distinction. That's okay.
Huh.
They still have, give them the opportunity.
Yeah, that's I think that's something that people can do. We one of the reasons we go with what we do is because there are a lot of people out there with lots of ideas, and when there's some point where we've got to distinguish between something that's actually going somewhere or something that we're going to focus on, like our niche within the group.
Right.
But yeah.
So maybe the distinction is, right, we help startups and entrepreneurs. We distinguish between startup, the middle phase, and accelerating. So maybe we make that distinction, and that's okay. There's a thought. You're looking for my solution. Here's a solution. Right? We distinguish the ones that have not made any money, those who have, like X10 is already in business and growing, and the ones that are maturing. So we distinguish between the 3, the early startup, the middle phase, and growing. Nothing wrong with that. Certainly, I don't think.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a possibility there. The question is capacity, right? You're all about strategizing, right? There's a certain capacity someone has, and that might be a limit we have, is that if we do that, then there's all these people that will present, and it might lose its steam because they change so much. I mean, you even changed your business a whole bunch throughout.
Well,
but you've got
right to the point. Right? I mean, sometimes we see repeat presentations of the same company. I mean, I've seen Charles present a few times, and there's nothing wrong with coming back and presenting a few times. That's okay. I think that's my point. You know, your company changes at startup, at middle phase, and at maturity phase. You see what I'm saying? And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Companies change, companies grow, companies change, period. To the point of who moved my cheese.
Yeah.
It just does. There's nothing wrong with that. Heck, it changes in the first year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I
Do you
think
know
that deserves a platform. No
do
matter
you
where
know
it's at
how
in the
lo-
journey of entrepreneurship, early, middle, you know, I think it deserves
do
that
you know
platform.
what? Do you know when the early bird thing for this start thing ends?
I have no idea.
Huh.
I
This
think I'm
early
gonna,
bird.
yeah, myself, I'm gonna do it soon.
Yeah,
Probably within the next 24 hours, I'm gonna register for this.
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so at least that's my plan. But there's your answer. You asked me. I'm the one who's challenging. I'm providing you a solution.
I appreciate the angle. And I
Hey,
appreciate
look,
and the
I'm an
specifics
entrepreneur.
are helpful.
I'll give you my take on it for sure.
That's good. And I
Well,
look forward
do you
to,
guys-
when you get the first and I look forward to when you get the first dollar paid in. Have you looked into presenting at Impact and Coffee?
When is Impact and I've never presented at Impact and Coffee.
Yeah,
When does that happen?
Impact and Coffee. It's funny because it's also on the Hispano Chamber of Commerce page. Impact and Coffee. So they're grant success impact. So they focus on nonprofits. So your social impact thing, it might fit there.
Except I'm not a non-for-profit.
Okay.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I may be a social impact organization, but I'm not a non-for-profit. There's a distinction.
Yeah. Yeah, they used to present in this one particular location too. It's funny because they're not there anymore. They present somewhere else. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but you're getting a grant. I don't know but the grant is for a
doesn't mean
for-profit company, huh?
A grant doesn't mean I'm a non-for-profit. It just means I'm getting a grant for
Yeah.
capital seed funding. That's all that means.
Yeah. So there's something invested, but yeah.
That's all that means. And once
Well,
I get that grant,
and I look forward to when you're going to be able to present. In the meantime, I'd say keep up the talking about the cool things going on.
well, I'm keeping the momentum going. And trust me when I say, and this is what I mean about, at least 1 million cups being able to divide and giving everybody a voice and a platform by which we are able to get everybody and not discriminate or distinguish one from the other.
Yeah.
And be able to, in all fairness, be fair to everybody, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's limits to all that, right? Because if you're fair for everybody, what does that mean? Does everybody got to wear the same clothes?
No, I'm not saying wear the same clothes, but just to have a fair platform and diversity.
Yeah.
But if we're looking for diversity, then let's offer diversity. That's all.
Within a certain category, right? Because you can't do everybody, even if you're going for diversity.
Right. Yeah. But at the same time, the opportunity to be able to see, we might miss something that's there. There might be an opportunity we didn't think is there, and unless we hear, we won't know. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Annie.
Yeah.